Hello, everyone. So now look at the Cosby market today. It's been about 2 weeks, I think. Last time I was looking through the Korean market. Korean market was going pretty well with the semiconductor industries, um, possible turnarounds, and Cosby was going through to 2200 level, but recently that has been slightly sluggish, and since end of the year, just beginning of this year and end of the last year, Cosby seems to be sliding down. And today, with the news of Iran attacked by U.S. military, and the possible market, sluggishness from U.S. and Iran conflict, markets has been pretty hit by it, and well, it doesn't look pretty good. So obviously, the financial market shook on the day, and I think it's around 21:55 from possible military clashes between U.S. and Iran, which will be definitely impact the oil price. So that has been the bad news for all stock markets globally, and particularly because Korea market was been didn't find any particular momentum after the semiconductor rally. It seems that it was being particularly hardly attacked by the bad news in the market. So I think the market was ready, just ready to go down, as just waiting for bad news to happen. So one of the analysts in the CUM says, in the view of U.S. political interest in Iran's military inferiority, possible direct engagement is low, but political unrest and the friction will prolong, can be constrained for the lowering the bottom of the market. So actual war probably is hardly likely to happen, but its impact, negative impact, seems that is likely to prolong for a while. So I think the one of other problems in the market, I think, is the fourth quarter results will come out soon, and usually fourth quarters are not a good quarter because companies, particularly in Korea, I don't know about U.S. companies or other markets, but they usually give out their incentives, and they finalize their provisions, and so the cost is usually very high in the fourth quarter. So and then it kind of reflect back or rebounds back in the first quarter, and then goes up in the second and third, and then again the fourth quarter seems to be the hardest quarter, unless there is a particular macro situation changes. That'll definitely that'll possibly bring the market and stir up the markets and give some momentums. So that's what's going on with the Cosby, and then Kosdaq seems to be a little more hit by the bad news, and it came down 2%, which is pretty high comparing to the usual the size of drop. Well, other markets, you probably know better than me, so I'm not gonna go details. I'm gonna go to what's going on with the exchange rate. Exchange rate seems to going back up because of this bad sentiment in Korean markets and the Korean economy as a whole. So 1170 now is going back up to 1200 level. But if Iran and US problems on conflict doesn't prolong, then the exchange rate is probably likely to go down. But that's hardly to happen. I think as it sees show you in the news, is the growing Middle East conflict or risk the one seems to depreciate furthermore. So that's probably the directions that people are expected to see, or which I think is pretty reasonable guess. And then there is obviously WTI and a Brent just went skyrocketed, but I mean it always been strong, very strong. I think the Iran conflict just stir up a little more, but I think the trend and the direction was that it was going up in a hill. So WTI definitely is been influenced by the Iran and US conflict. So there's not much of other particular news. There is highly likely of the interest rate by the Fed to remain where it is now, and other than Iranian conflict or the situation, there's not much of things happening in Korea right now. Hopefully there's some other news that come out to bring up the market. It seems that as we always expected, that Trump will hopefully step in and bring some good news to the stir up the market as he did before for his presidential benefits. But otherwise we'll have to go and wait and see. So thank you very much. We'll see you again.
The guessing game on the U.S. North Korean summit continues.